Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
I waited a long time for this team up. In my world, you're well regarded. You were an X-Man. Fuck that, you were the X-Man. The Wolverine. He's a hero in my world.
Yeah, well, he ain't shit in mine. Scott used to beg me to wear this suit. So did Storm and Beast. But I couldn't have him thinking I wanted to be there. And it was too late.
It's only 9 people, but my entire world is right here in this picture. And I have no idea how to save it alone, but you know how to save it.
Hello. This is Adolf, and I have with me Jake.
Howdy, folks.
And today we're doing part 1 about the Spoilercast for Deadpool and Wolverine. And we're going to do part 2 with Jacob another time. In this podcast, will be combined later on, but we got Jake here now, so let's go ahead and get to the spoilers. So, obviously, Jake got to see this before me, so I concur with basically everything you say in the spoiler-free version of the podcast, except I don't rate it as high. I might give it a 9 at that. It didn't make me cry. That's why it didn't push it to 10, but I really fucking enjoyed this movie.
No. Oh, it didn't make me cry either, but then again, I didn't think it was as heartfelt and moving as a lot of people seem to think it was.
And since it's a rated R movie and they said fuck 100 times in this, plus, we could say fucking shit and whatever you want. I mean, usually I haven't cared in a while, but, let's go for it.
Oh yeah, this is a fucking R-rated movie. I was blessed. My screening did not have kids.
Oh, my screening did. I had 2 literally right in front of me. It was like a 8-month-old and like a 2-year-old or 5-year-old or something. And the 8-month-old had to leave like right off the movie started, and then the other one stayed and watched. And the parents were there, or guardians, I don't know. And they watched the whole movie with that kid. And okay, whatever. I guess you can't have babysitters, but like I went like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it was a weird time,
Maybe he had it was a teacher's work day at school, or he had been expelled from school.
I mean, it's still August, so we don't have school here in Texas. But,
okay, that explains it.
Anywho's, so let's talk about this movie and the 3D aspect, because I feel like I really have to commend you, Jake, because it's really hard to talk about the 3D without spoiling this movie, because scene after scene, oh yeah, this movie has great 3D, and you really can't talk about it without spoiling the
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, like you mentioned, the opening. And the opening, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, I'm like now trying to figure out how to do something inspired by that opening for my Halloween yard display.
That Deadpool used the decomposed
Those skeletal remains of Wolverine as a weapon against the TVA.
Oh my god. And then he even did the whole Congress's Godzilla using the skull and spine to smash people.
Mm-hmm.
And it made complete sense because, yeah, his skeleton is adamantium, so throwing them really hard, it's gonna be a weapon.
Yeah.
And that whole scene was just like shot so beautifully in 3D.
Yep.
With credits popping out and scenes being thrown here and there, I was like, oh my god, yes, brilliant. Gimme more of this horrible action, but awesomely hilariously ridiculous.
And the dancing was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
So that's one hell of a way to start a fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
it did not violate the canon of Logan.
Yeah.
That was the best part of it. Said, okay, you really care about continuity and don't want the movie Logan invalidated? Okay, fine. So we found a loophole.
And the one thing that's weird about it, too, is that I guess Logan's supposed to take place in the future. But, the X-Men universe timeline is fucked up beyond belief. So I don't know when the future is. I think that said 2029, but then there was a 5 years because of Blip, and then all the different movie reboots and such. I don't really care. I don't give two shits about that.
I mean, this movie doesn't care either. This movie, the story is to further the plot, and not the plot, the jokes. I mean, if there's anything in the way of a joke, it goes away because they're going for the punchline and the laughs and the humor, and it delivers. Like I said in my other review, I mean, this is nostalgia porn at its finest.
Yeah, because this just is out to give you, as a fan, everything you could possibly want, and then some.
Yeah, and they even reference that several times through the movie. Everything from pull out your special sock to
Hulk masturbation.
Yeah, smash pervasion.
I was like, smash. Oh. And I was like, damn, he painted a real good picture there, and now I can't see those Hulk hands again the same way.
Yep.
So this movie is about Deadpool trying to find who he is as a person and want to be a hero, and it's like it's really relatable. It is for me. Trying to find your way in life is something that is very relatable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this story does not get in the way of the jokes.
And somehow off screen, which I do think is kind of a not ideal. They did kind of show some point of view of what happened, but there is a point in time where he breaks up with his girlfriend, and they do show how and why that happened, but it didn't seem super. They could have handled that better.
Yeah, look, they just barely strung a story for this. I mean, because this is not what's driving this movie. I mean, it was the references, the jokes. I mean, Ryan Reynolds knows his audience. They're there to get a laugh on, and if there's any time we need a laugh, it's right now.
And Reynolds has always been good as Deadpool. I mean, it's always been a perfect match, but I think this is his best as Deadpool, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, it's really good.
So, it's the story is about the TVA getting him, recruiting him to help mess up a timeline, and there's like a bomb, and he's like, no, I don't want to be with this shit, and I'm going to go get Wolverine, and we're going to stop you from destroying my timeline.
Yeah, and it turns out that this TVA is Rogue TVA. Because B12 from the Loki TV show shows up. She's got promoted because of the events in the 2 seasons of Loki, and kicks ass, takes names. So if you're wondering who the woman who flirts with Peter, and might I add, Peter is the greatest glow up in this series, replacing Weasel with him, great glow up.
Oh yeah, I mean, I liked him before, but now it's just like, oh, I like a lot more.
Yeah. I would pay money to go see a Peter solo movie.
I don't know about that, but a TV show, sure.
Oh, definitely, but I mean, but then again, I like this movie a little more than you did, so.
And Deadpool going to different universes, finding Wolverines. I'm so glad that was not spoiled for me because I had a hoot going through multiverse and seeing multiple versions.
Yeah, the comic accurate one was one of the ones my audience died seeing that little Wolverine and that little V-neck jump off that stool.
Yeah, and then Cavill as Wolverine.
Yeah. And the jokes were especially they had some good ones towards the distinguished competition.
Oh, and this is like so many references. Like it's crazy because I mean, this is like made for me and you, where we're like, oh yeah, he's from that comic. Oh yeah, it's from this comic. Oh yeah, if you don't get it, it doesn't matter. You can still follow along and have fun.
Oh yeah, and if you don't like this joke, there's another one coming 15 seconds later. I mean, this thing is like the TV show Laugh-In. Bam, 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 just keeps hitting you. And there's references to the movies, to Ryan Reynolds' career outside of Deadpool. I mean, the only thing that he didn't make fun of was him and Scarlett Johansson being married.
Yeah, and that would have not been.
I figured that's not happening because I noticed she exited the Marvel universe before he entered it.
Yeah.
Just saying. So, not going there beyond that. No, I just thought it was weird. They poke fun at everybody else's divorce in this movie, but they don't mention him and ScarJo. But hey.
So this movie does have like a really light plot, and it's what's needed. I'm actually like totally fine with this not having a super complex characters and plot. It's just you having a fun time with the characters.
Yeah.
And eventually, Deadpool and Wolverine get pruned, and then they go to the Void, which is, you know, we've actually watched 2 seasons of Loki, know more about this Void, but for the audience, this is the first time seeing this in theater.
Yep.
And they have a nice little fight, and Wolverine and Deadpool fight a lot. And, you know, as an audience, we know, and I think they know too, it doesn't matter, because both of them are going to regenerate. Both of them have about equal regeneration, so it fucking doesn't matter. They're these guys.
And they go for each other's crotches and asses. I mean, Wolverine puts his claws into Deadpool's crotch and ass. I mean, I was starting to go, damn, this is almost getting to be a fetish film.
I guess that's one thing the movie didn't have. It didn't have any full frontal nudity, no breasts either or anything. Or butts. Or no butts. Maybe that was the line.
Yeah, well, the language they can they can edit out, you know, redub a lot easier than it is to remove nudity and stuff for certain markets.
And when we saw...
but they were tons and tons of sex jokes.
Yeah, we saw Chris Evans. I was like, oh my god, he's going to be back here? And then it was a fake out, and it was... I was like, oh, that's awesome.
It was still him, but...
Yeah.
They even played the Captain America music and all that, and everybody thought, oh, he's Cap. And then we find out he's Johnny Storm,
the Human Torch from Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
and I gotta give it to Chris Evans for actually like getting that character back, because it's a very distinct way Johnny Storm talks and acts that is very different from Captain America. And yeah, I bought it. I completely bought that was Johnny Storm and not Captain.
Yeah. And God, and I hope everybody who's listening to this stayed for the end credits thing. Oh my God, that's one of the speeches for the ages.
I enjoyed it. I just was hoping something more of a breadcrumb for something in the future. But it was fine. I enjoyed the post-credit scene.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be because this was a Fox movie, technically, even though it had the Marvel stuff on it. Yeah, who would think we would see an R-rated Marvel movie from Disney?
And then we get eventually a Mad Max scene, and the Sabretooth fight was hilarious. I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, we're going to finally get to see them fight. And he just decapitates them in one swoop. It's like, oh. A great job of subverting their expectations time and time again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I always thought they were kind of a dumb brother rivalry as well, and I was like, Wolverine should always have Sabretooth's fight one. So it just was funny, and then meeting Cassandra Nova, and I thought she was actually pretty cool.
Oh, she's so much cooler in this movie than seeing the comic books. I've always thought the character was such a dumb idea. The super genius twin sister of Xavier that he never knew about, blah blah blah. My eyes just rolled. It was one of the most ridiculous premises in comics, and here they actually did something interesting with it.
And the fact that how powerful she is, I guess in a way, Xavier is that powerful too. He just doesn't use it in the same way. She just killed Johnny Storm. I was like, oh my god, that was brutal.
Yeah, the audience I saw this was gasped. It was the same gasp I heard out of the audience when the Scarlet Witch killed Mr. Fantastic. Spoilers for at this point, if you haven't seen that movie that I just referenced,
you're not going to.
But I won't mention the name.
So, eventually they escape, and then they find a group of other superheroes, and one of these superheroes I did accidentally get spoiled, but the other three, I did not. So I heard that good old Blade was coming back, and I was like, no way. And then I had no idea that Electro was coming back, and no idea that Laura X-23 is coming back, and then the piece to do
the one that was the hardest for me to keep secret from you.
Fucking Gambit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we finally got a Gambit movie. Hallelujah.
No, we finally got a Gambit in a movie, not the Gambit movie.
This is as close as we're going to get.
And we actually got to see Gambit fight in the full way that Gambit could fight, because we got a little tease of Gambit like 10 years ago, at this point. Or more. I forget when the last time there was like a scene with Gambit, right? In X-Men Wolverine or something, or X-Men.
Yeah,
First Class.
Yeah, X-Men Origins.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we finally get Gambit.
And it's just like, for me and you, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to talk to Jake about this. We've been talking about this fucking Gambit for years. We're never going to see this. We're never going to see him. And there he is.
Yeah, because it was our running joke. There'll be a Gambit movie before this. Now we need a new running joke because we've gotten Gambit finally.
The Flash movie finally came out, and we finally seen Gambit in a movie, and he was pretty awesome in that movie.
And the accent, he had it way so thick, it was like, and the jokes about not understanding him and stuff, it were hilarious. Yeah,
usually those jokes don't land on me. I get it, but this time it was so funny each time. And there was Channing Tatum too. So Channing Tatum. So he finally got to be the role that he never got to have.
Yep.
And he's awesome in 21 and 22 Jump Street. And having Blade come back, oh.
Yep. And the jokes landed even funnier about Blade because of all the problems they've had with the new Blade movie at the MCU.
Yeah, that I don't know if that some of these jokes may spoil pretty quickly, and some of them may not. But like the fact, oh, I'm the only Blade, and then Deadpool looks at the camera and is like, yeah, it might be the only Blade movie because it's
the reaction is like, yeah, it's like you might end up being the only Blade the way things are going.
Like, did they have some like reshoots recently? Because a lot of these jokes felt so timely.
Yeah.
And eventually they, able to stop, or they able to get Juggernaut's helmet and put it onto Cassandra. And how X-23 took care of Juggernaut is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Literally,
yeah.
cutting...
Then we find out Pyro is working for the TVA, and he shoots Cassandra.
Yeah, and Wolverine and Deadpool escape, and then they have a big thing with the Deadpool core, and that scene was hilarious. But we all think all of them are gonna survive, so what's the point of this? The point is to have a fucking good time, and that's the whole point of the movie.
Yeah, except Nice Pool.
Poor Nice Pool.
Yeah. But we knew he was going to die because we knew Deadpool needed his dog.
And apparently, Blake Lively, the
Blake
wife,
Lively. Yeah, she did the voice for female Deadpool.
So
Lady Deadpool.
Yeah. It's just a riot. And that dog, I wondered if the dog was going to talk or have any kind of things like that, but nope, it's just a dog. Ugly
at least
dog.
For now.
And the whole movie kind of, the time machine thing, and when they're like, oh, if one of us goes down, we're not coming back out. And I was like, well, then they both go down. And they did. I was like,
that's basically what happened after they did all the Star Trek jokes. Yeah.
And they save the multiverse, and they take care of the TVA takes care of everything, and bada boom, bada bing. And I saw that we were saying before about, oh, they could have had a musical number, one song and then just when Wolverine was walking away, that would have been a perfect one song, one hilarious musical number. Oh, that could have been. I don't know why that didn't happen, but that was like so perfectly set up. I don't know if that was part of the joke, was that they perfectly set up a musical number and they decided not to do it, or what. But I would have killed for a musical number with Hugh.
Yeah.
Because Hugh,
and even though
sing.
I think
Hugh can definitely sing.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
He's made enough musicals.
I don't know if Reynolds can sing, but I assume that he would definitely try and it'd be funny.
Yeah, and if he can't, he could always get somebody to dub him because he's got people, doing. He gets stunt dancers to do his dance moves.
Yeah, and if they didn't want to have him singing badly, they could have had some auto-tune and like have Logan play with that and be like, oh, I could sing for real, I don't need no auto-tune. Oh, there's so many possibilities there. I wonder what happened. I wonder if there's like a deleted scene, or they just like, oh, we don't have budget for a musical number, I'm sorry. It's like, oh
yeah.
Oh, I was actually surprised to see the cowl, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, the cowl, yes. You actually wear the full suit with the cowl.
So, my audience erupted in cheers.
So, it's just a lot of fun, and there was some touching moments, and you got to get to know why Wolverine wears a suit, and like, okay, it makes sense. And the touching moment of Deadpool, with losing his girlfriend. Okay. I was like, this works as just a good fucking ride. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's not trying to be the greatest comic book movie of all time. Not trying to be the most serious comic book movie of all time or anything. It's not trying to be Logan.
It was going for the funniest.
It was going for the funniest, and it might have been one of the funniest. And everything works. The only reason I give it a 9 instead of your 10 is just because I wish it would have made me cry more. I wasn't like crying in laughter, but I didn't cry in any kind of scene either. So it didn't push me to that edge of perfection. But I had a great ass time here, and it was. I can't wait to watch it again, and I definitely want to watch this at home intoxicated. It's gonna be a lot more fun at home intoxicated.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I've seen this a second time, and there's so many jokes you will not get them you will just not comprehend them all the first time. This is a movie that bears repeat viewings. This is definitely one I'm going to pick up on home video. I just pray I can find it in 3D somewhere in the world.
Oh, and then the bus shot that you were talking about, that's comic accurate. Oh, that was incredible in 3D. It's like, oh yeah, you even paused and like gave you like slow motion, all the glass popping out. I was like, yum,
Mm-hmm.
gimme. I love that.
Yeah, I was trying to not spoil it, but I had to mention it. Yeah, you could see the quandary I was having at the non-spoiler version. Once you see it, it makes sense why it was so awkward to talk about without spoilers.
So I didn't care that there was a different they did have to redo recasts of some sort, because I think Juggernaut's different, but they had the same appearance. But I don't care.
Oh, there were lots of different. I mean, they had a different Sabretooth.
Yeah, but still, they got the vast majority of them, and it's fine. I don't care that much. And I really did enjoy how they're able to have fun with this. And if anything, I feel like there was like a podcast we did that I predicted this is how it's going to be. That basically that's how Deadpool comes in the universe, because they're going to get mad at him for messing up the time machine. So yeah, I guess I predicted that right. So I guess there's like one universe with like a dozen or 200, countless Deadpools. I don't know if they went back to their universe or what.
Yeah, or if they have a thing like the Reeds in the comic books, the Council of Richards. Maybe there's a Council of Deadpools.
But how the interaction between Logan and Deadpool, hilarious, and you could tell these guys love each other in real life.
Yeah, if not, they sure fake it. They sure fake it till it feels real.
Oh, I hope they have a commentary track of Hugh and
in character.
In character, sure, but even without character, I think it'll be fun listening to Reynolds.
I think they should have them as actors, and then they could do it as their characters. Ragging on the movie.
But yeah, I had a great time here, and I worry about how the cameos and the stuff will hit, but I trust you that it's gonna be fun multiple times.
Yep.
But yeah, I definitely want more from Casanova or Cassandra Nova, not Casanova.
Yeah, and this movie's making money hand over fist. So even though this felt like an end, all wrapped up in like a tidy bow, like Toy Story 3 was, this looks like it's going to be the first $1 billion movie in quite a while out of the Marvel universe. So I think they're both going to be playing these characters till they're 90.
I was hoping that Loki would pop in. I don't know what that deal is, if that's just a joke with Thor crying about Deadpool, or I wonder if that will pay off in a future movie. That would be awesome if they paid that off and like.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I was wondering if that was going to be in. I mean, they could say, "Oh, that was going to be in Secret Wars."
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Or Doomsday, but more likely Secret Wars.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad that the original X-Men team didn't get to have more fun here. I mean, they were there for like 2 scenes, but
well, the last movie had probably the best X-Men scene you could ever have in a Deadpool movie, where they were there and didn't want Deadpool to know they were, and they were slowly closing the door open. He wouldn't notice them.
Yeah. I don't know. I just would have loved to see just to have Negasonic Teenage to be out there fighting with them. That'd been fun.
Yeah, but we got to see plenty of her and her girlfriend at the partying.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the whole thing with Deadpool fighting to save his universe.
But yeah, this is a great time and a lot of fun, and I definitely enjoyed it. And it's good to go back to a Marvel movie and just be like, I really enjoyed it. Not like I liked it, it was fun. No, I really enjoyed this movie, and it did exactly what it wanted to do, and it was fun. And
yeah, and I'm glad that Disney made the decision to not force them into a PG-13 rating.
I still think in my heart of hearts that they're going to release it again in PG-13, and I think they could make some cuts here and there and still make it be okay.
Yeah, they might try it or pull what they did with Once Upon a Deadpool, have a different framing device and change up a few scenes enough to where it's almost a separate movie.
And none of it contradicts anything from Loki TV show. I kind of wish that there was Loki in here, but it's fine.
Yeah, I'm figuring Loki's probably gonna factor in either Doomsday or Secret Wars or both.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's gonna be it from us. But we both really enjoyed this movie, and stick around for the section with Jacob, where we talk with Jacob and see his viewpoints on it. But yeah, we both really enjoyed it. 3D is really great. And in between the bus scene and the intro, it was just solid. I think it was really good. But yeah, I wish it was played up a little bit more. More pop outs, but I did enjoy it, and I did recommend it.
Yeah.
All right. I guess it's going to be it from us. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Welcome to part 2 of the Spoilercast for Deadpool and Wolverine. I have with me Jacob.
Hi, everybody.
And unfortunately, we were not able to join all together as one, but hey, it's good enough. The podcast, You'll get it all together as one podcast. So, Jacob, what's your thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine? Full spoilers, and you can cuss all you fucking want.
The people I seen it with, we all loved it.
Okay.
We all enjoyed the movie so fucking much.
Now, to correct me if I'm wrong, you never got around to seeing the Loki TV show, have you?
I seen actually season 1, except for the very last episode, because my access to Disney Plus got removed, so I was only able to watch like most of the first season, but I enjoyed the show.
Okay, I was wondering how much of the TVA you're aware of and not aware of and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen Loki season 2 yet, but I'm aware of the TVA.
Okay. Season 2 is trippy, but it's good. It's really good, too. All right, cool. So, what's your thoughts on Deadpool 2? Or Deadpool, not 3.
I love Deadpool 2. No, okay, so Deadpool 3, like the whole trilogy is fantastic, but this is easily the weakest of the trilogy, at least for the time being. but it's still a fucking awesome movie.
All right. What 3D aspects do you want to pop off that you really enjoyed?
Oh God, probably that opening fight scene with the adamantium skeleton of Logan.
Okay.
That was really fun. And then there's just certain shots whenever there'll be like stuff being thrown towards the screen or whatever, and that was really enjoyable. But it wasn't the strongest 3D, I'll say that much. But it was still better than what I thought it was going to be.
There's like a scene at the end, or when the jumping out of the bus, and like they kind of like do a freeze frame or slow mo. That was pretty awesome.
That was pretty cool, yeah.
So what score would you give the 3D?
Probably. That's kind of tough. I'm kind of hovering between a 7 and an 8.
All right, that's good enough. That's a good enough range. In that range, I think I agree with you. Since we officially did not review it, Jake did review this, and he gave it an 8. You know, we basically agree with that. I think toward the middle, it was there. It was nice. It wasn't played up that much. Would have always liked more pop.
Yeah, it was just like more kind of depth than like anything. But whenever there are action scenes with, you know, stuff kind of going all ape shit, it kind of got lively and perky.
So what cameos did you like the most? What story aspects? Just throw out anything you want, man.
Well, probably the Happy Hogan cameo, and then also Blade was a total surprise.
None of it got spoiled for you?
No, I don't. Okay, I like Henry Cavill, but I don't think he's an amazing actor. I thought he's one of the weakest Superman, and then as Wolverine, he was okay, but he didn't really do much. He just was there.
Did any of them get spoiled for you before you watched it,
though? The only ones I knew of were God, what is that? Sabretooth or whatever his name is. Yeah. Wolverine's brother, Pyro.
That was in the trailer. I don't know if Pyro was in the trailer, but yeah, Sabretooth was in the trailer.
Pyro was like in the newest trailer that came out like a month ago, and then Toad. I knew about Toad, and I knew about Elektra when they were filming the movie. But Blade was a huge surprise, along with Happy Hogan.
Oh, you weren't excited to see Gambit for the first time?
Oh God, I forgot about Gambit. Yes, but I wasn't expecting that at all, and it's just like he's probably one of the best parts of the movie.
And Laura X-23,
that was fine. Like I still hadn't seen Logan yet, so
what?
I know.
How have you not seen Logan yet?
I know.
Oh my god!
I just haven't got around to it.
Come on, man.
I was like, when I was off for 6 weeks back in March, I was restarting to like watching the X-Men movies. Ones I've seen, ones I haven't seen, and I got to X-Men Origins Wolverine, and I'm like, I can't do it anymore because that movie sucks.
Well, still, Logan. I mean, oh man.
I hear great things about it, and I've seen clips, and it looks amazing. It's just I haven't had the urge to just sit down and watch a movie.
In fairness, I have not seen Elektra, and I think I saw the first Blade,
bad.
But I don't remember it. I mean,
Elektra was bad.
And all right, so what action scenes did you like the most?
Probably the bye dance sequence, but I also love the whole spiel with the one shot at the end with the bus, like where they're kind of like on the street and they defeat the other pools. But then also the fight scene within the Honda Odyssey.
Okay.
The Honda Odyssey fucks.
I wonder if that was product placement or if it wasn't, because I was like, okay, whatever.
I think it has to.
All right. What do you think of the story?
I mean, there wasn't a huge amount of story. It was mainly just an excuse to get Deadpool and Wolverine around, and it generally was a road movie. It was okay, but compared to the other two stories of the Deadpool movies, pretty weak.
All right. And what about Cassandra Nova?
Pretty cool. But like the villains of this movie, it kind of has that curse of the MCU having largely unmemorable villains. But you know, she was okay. She did all right.
And then the actual TVA guy, Paradox, being a villain.
Paradox is just mid. Like, he was just wanting to end the world for some odd reason. I don't know why.
All right. Anything else you want to say about this movie?
I mean, the movie itself is awesome. It's hilarious. It's profane. It's not blasphemous compared to what people are saying it is, because just because he says it's Marvel Jesus, that doesn't mean he's saying he's Jesus. He's just saying that he is the savior of the MCU that we need right now. But go see the movie. It's fun. It's funny. The action's great, and it's great to see Hugh Jackman on the big screen again, and Ryan Reynolds.
All right, what score did you give the movie?
Oh, God, probably a solid 8, maybe even 9.
Okay. I'm with you there. I think I gave it a 9. It just, it didn't make me cry, so it didn't push me over like number 10. But it was just a hell of a good time, and that's what you want, and it nailed it.
Yes, I mean, it's easily the best film I've seen this year so far, but I mean, it's just an excuse to have two legendary superhero actors on screen for the first time and have some fun action scenes with not a lot of depth, but it's still hilarious, and I loved it.
Okay. All right. Do you have anything else you want to throw out there? I know we kind of jump around here, but there isn't that much plot, and we kind of talked about that in part 1. So I'm just giving you any opportunity to talk about any specific thing you want to talk about in this movie.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's just not a whole lot of plot to really thumb through. It's literally just Deadpool has to find Wolverine and restore the timeline. That's literally it. I mean, what else can you do with that? Like, I kind of wish they dove more into the breakdown of his relationship with, is it Vanessa? Is that her name? His girlfriend or fiance?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I kind of wish they dove into that. I kind of wish I wish the movie was a little bit longer to show him selling cars at that place, or at least trying to, and more stuff with Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Yukio and Peter and stuff like that. It's fun, but it's just, I wish there was a little bit more depth to the story, but it's still a great time.
All right, I guess it's going to be it for us for this part 2. So just want to give you a chance to put your 2 cents in and to throw it out there. So
yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't give all that much because of the lack of story, but it's still hilarious, and there's great jokes. I highly recommend seeing it.
Okay. All right. I guess it's going to be it for us. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
I got one more thing to talk about. We have our own merch store. It's a print to order, and it's on the website right now. We got t-shirts. We got totes. We got cups. We got leggings. We got skirts. We got just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got a little bit of everything. So I try to make these prices affordable. So you get some original designs, some fresh designs, and if you love 3D, like you listen to this podcast, you're going to love the products that we have here because it's all over 3D, and it's just 3dor2d.com/store. A link will be in the show notes, and if you just go to the website, it'll be there. But wait, there's more. Right now, we have an opening sale offer code. If you use code 3D2014, you'll get 10% off. And that code expires on August 23rd. So use it now before it's gone. Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank MK Ultra, Gravity Head Zero, and Axe Folk for being my super VIP patrons on Patreon.
You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwo@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.